I have two questions for you. First question, have you ever noticed that the more you like someone, the less they seem to like you? In other words, the more you want something, the harder it is to get. Second question, do you think life is complicated or simple? If you feel that life is incredibly complicated and full of tangled threads, could it be that you've been brainwashed? As I grew up, I was surprised to discover that sometimes reading an entire philosophical masterpiece isn't as helpful as a casual remark my grandmother might mutter offhand. So today, let's talk about how to simplify life. As the saying goes, immortals dwell not on famous mountains. True Buddhas speak only of everyday matters. After reading this episode, I believe your tangled life will become incredibly simple, perhaps even reaching a state of unwavering spiritual resolve. Today, I'll use 6 counterintuitive perspectives to help you break down how to achieve great things in life with minimal effort. Don't forget to like and save this post. Let's dive right in. First up, the law of reversal. Its essence can be summed up in 4 words. The harder you try, the more you fail. People shouldn't try too hard. The more you fixate on happiness, the further away it gets. 80% of people live by this reverse principle. Take relationships, for example. The more you try to make someone love you, the less likely they are to do so, and you'll end up scaring them away. Take opportunities, for instance. Desperate people often reject opportunities because they're too afraid it's just another trap, and the more they reject, the more desperate they become. Take stress, for instance. When under pressure, a person's first reaction is never to relax, but rather to think, no, I have to try harder. And the harder they try, the more they break down. Yu Minhong once said that every difficulty you encounter in life is a crisis of your own making. Anxiety itself only breeds more anxiety. How do you break this vicious cycle? Remember, if you chase your shadow, you'll never catch it. But if you turn around, your shadow will naturally follow you. In English, it's called I don't chase, I attract. Don't chase, attract instead. When anxious, clear your mind. When under pressure, stay calm. In action, do what needs to be done without fixating on the outcome. Live life to the fullest. The rewards always go to those who enjoy what they do, not those who work themselves to the bone. What you desire will naturally come to you. In life, major achievements often come from putting in 80% effort and reaping 120% of the rewards. Exerting 120% of your effort often leads straight to burnout. Summed up in a profound phrase, unfazed ambition, unwavering resolve as still as water, a balance of tension and release. Second, the paradox of control. The more you try to control something, the less control you have over it. It's like holding a basin of water in your hands. You can possess it as long as you hold it, but if you try to grip it too tightly, the water will all spill away. Many people wake up wanting to plan every minute of the day, only to find that the more they try to control, the more chaotic things become. Because every second involves countless variables, the brain simply can't keep up. 2 solutions. First, the Stoics. Control only what you can control. Ignore what you cannot. You can't control the broader environment, the weather, traffic conditions, or how others treat you. What you can control is driving safely, taking care of your health, and doing your work well. Second, the art of war. First, make yourself invincible, then wait for the enemy to become vulnerable. First, ensure you cannot be defeated, build high walls, stockpile grain, and delay proclaiming yourself king. Cultivate yourself, don't let life defeat you, and wait for the opportunity to arise before seizing it. Third, the paradox of happiness. This is also my favorite principle. Happiness is like a cat. If you call it, it won't come. But if you focus on your work, it will come rubbing against you. The pursuit of happiness itself is actually quite superficial. The joy brought by dopamine and endorphins is fleeting, and its marginal utility diminishes. For example, if you love oil-drizzled noodles, the first day brings 100 points of joy. By the 100th day, it's down to 1 point, and eating them again would make you feel sick. Mature people don't chase happiness, they pursue a state of well-being. Happiness is merely a byproduct. Just as money is the natural result of doing valuable, meaningful things. Traditional values are actually very useful. Loyal subjects and filial children, studying and farming. With few choices, life is simpler. Do what you believe is right and valuable, and happiness will naturally follow. Fourth, the emotional rule, also known as the 90-10 rule. When people make decisions, 90% is based on emotion and 10% on reason. Should you choose A or B? Flip a coin. The moment the coin is tossed, you already have the answer in your heart. You always make decisions based on preference and intuition first, and then use reason to rationalize them afterward. Intuition isn't irrational. Intuition is the body's big data. Sight, hearing, aura, touch, and intuition, all this information converges in an instant, 1,000,000 times faster than rational analysis. The moment you shake hands, if it feels cold and clammy, your intuition tells you this person isn't right for a partnership. Trust your emotions and intuition. They are your body's quick judgments. Fifth, the 80/20 rule. Life often works like this. 20% of your effort yields 80% of the results. 20% of your clients generate 80% of your revenue. 20% of your friends provide 80% of the warmth. And 80% of your time is actually spent on futile efforts. The solution is simple. Cut out 80% of the wasted effort and pour your energy into that critical 20% of tasks and people. Dig deep, stay focused, and your life will become much easier. Sixth, words versus actions. We aren't here to complete some mission. We're here to create ourselves. Every choice you make each day is like calculus or building blocks. It constantly accumulates and shapes who you are. Don't listen to how someone describes themselves. Watch where they spend their time and energy. Forget MBTI, it's not accurate. People put filters on themselves, but actions don't lie. Use this rule to filter the people around you, and your life will be 90% less troublesome. These 6 points are actually simple truths that even our grandmothers understood. I like to call my grandmother the rural Sart. She told me, what goes into your stomach is real, everything else is fake. Americans are human too, and they understand human nature. When people are worried, it's okay to have a cigarette. We all understand these truths, but we often forget them in our complex society. I hope this video helps you rediscover the power of simplicity, and I wish everyone a brighter future. This is ThoughtWolf. That's all for today.